It says they broke the window under the porch so they could see into the area, and that's where they saw him hiding in the coal cellar. He was ordered to show his hands and remains there until the SWAT team that was in the basement could come and take him into custody. A legacy, we call it county police inspection, whatever. Christopher Kearns told KDKA Aquil's father shared photos of his daughter in a hospital bed at Children's Hospital, where he revealed her right eye socket was broken and she will need a steel plate inserted into her face, reported KDKA. Now, think about this, lady. How many of you ladies want to have a steel plate inserted in your face? See, if you want to avoid that, stop dealing with these dusty dudes who ain't about nothing. You see, you want to go around with the bad boys every single day. Now her eye socket is broken, and this monster that she was with, he's going to take all the blame. Obviously, I am not defending him in no ways. My point is, we need to hold both parties accountable for this. Because we love to say, it's the man, he's just a criminal, he's the terrible person. We know the guy ain't no good. We know the guy based on what he did. If he broke her eye socket, obviously he's very abusive, and he's causing bodily harm. So of course he belongs in jail. But let's hold these young ladies accountable for why they're always dealing with these kind of men. She didn't just get kidnapped. She was somewhere with this dude doing something, and this dude went off. It's just that simple. Nobody never talks about what leads up to these events. We know a lot of situations happen out here. Crime happens. Women get abused. But no one talks about what women do. Women do a lot of things that cause a lot of problems for them. A lot of problems. But nobody talks about that. Nobody want to say anything. It goes on to say, police believe Rogers broke into Aquil's home on Wednesday, punched her in the face several times, then forced her into a red sedan. So wait a minute. This said 16-year-old is home alone, right? This beast, right, called Black Man, they're all beasts, right? He went up to her house while no one was home. He just knew no one was home, right? And broke down the door and just punched her in the face now and just drag her into a red sedan, right? So no neighbors seen this, no father in the home, no mom in the home, none of this, right? He's so easy, right? Like the movies, right? Really. Nah, I don't believe it went down like that. This young lady went out with this brother. But they're not going to say that because they have to sensationalize the story to make the young lady look like a victim. And they have to make the black man look like an animal. Again, I am not taking up for this black Negro. Because any man that's going out there breaking women's eye sockets, that type of man belong under the prison. But at the end of the day, we got to hold women accountable for the situations they put themselves in by hanging out with these kind of men. We don't see this young lady hanging out with a brother that's going to the library. We don't see this young lady hanging out with a brother that is into comic books or he's into, music production and he's always home or he's on the baseball team. We don't see young ladies interested in men like that. They always want to hang around the thug. They always want to hang around the goon, the bad boy in the community, the popular guy at school. And then when they get their behind kicked, then all of a sudden now everybody want to cry victim. We got to do better, people. We got to do better. So it says that this man broke into her home. Now notice, he's supposed to be 19, right? They're not calling him a child. They're not calling him a kid. Nothing like that. Now keep in mind, she's 16, he's 19. But we want to talk about R. Kelly dealing with underage young ladies, right? But we don't hear nothing about that with this guy. See, because he's not 16. So now, if we want to hold R. Kelly accountable and call him a pedophile and a rapist, then shouldn't this young man be considered a rapist and a pedophile by those very same standards? But of course, we're not going to do that because he's not popular. You understand? He don't have millions of dollars. So there's really nothing to gain from him. So the truth of the matter is the only reason why they talk about R. Kelly is because there's something to gain. You understand? We don't want to talk about the fact that little young ladies are hot in the pants. And they're always out here. We don't talk about now. He broke into the home. They went several times. right? So this was like her punching her in the face, because if she's standing up, I don't think after the first punch she'll be standing up. So most likely she's on the floor and he's punching her in the face. Right? Then he forced her in a stand. Right? WWE will return home. Thank you to all those to help locate her. Police finding my niece family is truly appreciative. Love you all, he wrote. See, everybody want to be appreciative after the young lady had been destroyed for her own choice. We want our prayers and post. She's not the victim here. I'm sad to say this, but she is not the victim here. It is time that you account for what they do. They go and can't come in down a damn door. You understand? A door of a house. Doors for just kick a door from a house, man. Unless you have a house with a cheap door. This man not just the door open. This woman opened the door. You understand? Got him in the crib. Ain't no telling what's going on. But again, we're not gonna get the truth. We're not gonna get the whole story of what's going on. It's just not gonna happen. You understand? But it's sad. It's sad that she had her eye socket broke. You understand? And everybody's gonna, cater to her. They're gonna feel sorry for her. They're gonna, oh, that's not right. These men are so abusive. And, no, these men are just who they are. You ladies, you constantly choose them. You understand? You constantly choose these kind of men. Why can't you sisters choose quality brothers? Why? Why can't you ladies sit down and ask yourself, what about this guy is quality? Boyfriend. In what regard? What do he offer? Do he got a job? Do he got morals? Do he got values? What do he bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? Because you ladies think that you're sugar-coated, all that, got it going on just because you pretty and a cute face. None of that stuff mean nothing. You gotta mature and become adults and stop doing adult things if you ain't ready to pay the price for your actions. Real talk. You want to go out here and fling around with different dudes, and then when he knocked you upside your head, you want to play victim. I'm sure this dude was abusive the day he got with her. But she stuck around with him because she loved the bad boy. There's so many women that love bad boys, man. Again, shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm pretty much focused on this video here because it's a serious topic. There's a lot of young ladies that's out right now. Their mom don't care, their father is not home, and their daughter's out in the street with some man right now. Right now, as I'm making this live stream, there are countless 15, 16-year-olds who are in the street right now with grown men, mind you. And they're out in these streets. Ooh. Nobody don't know where they are. They're at strip clubs, they're at nightclubs, they're in different homes doing porn videos. There are a lot of young ladies out here doing a lot of things, and nobody's concerned with that until something goes wrong. And then we want to play victim. You understand? And when they take these mug shots of these dudes, they make sure they get the worst kind of mug shot. I mean, when you look at this dude, how many of you ladies are ready to give this dude your phone number? How many of you? But see, that young lady saw something in this brother that was worth being with him. She liked the tough guy image. She loved the thug. She loved the goon. You understand? Why is it that women is so infatuated by that? What is it about that? You think that makes him an alpha male or something? These guys are cowards, man. These guys are weak. Any type of man who is going to break a woman's eye socket, that's a weak man.
She was a monster.
That's a weak man. Any man that does this type of stuff. And I'm not one of those type of dudes who is going to preach this nonsense about, oh, you shouldn't hit a woman. I don't believe in that mess. If a woman hit a man, he have a right to hit her. Facts. Simple as that. I'm not into that nonsense. You're never supposed to put your hand on a woman. Really? If a woman put her hand on me, I'm going to put my hand on her. It's just that simple. I'm not no little boy where you play these little games. Women need to keep their hands to themselves. See, we don't know the story. We don't have the facts of what took place. All we know is that this dude broke her eye socket, but we don't have no information on what she did, why she was with him, how did this all conspire. Like, how does a man go to your house, break your door down, punch you in the face, nobody see nothing, no mom home, no parent home, and he just abduct you, throw you in a car, and you're gone? So no screams, no cameras in the neighborhood. You know, houses, a lot of people homes have cameras on them. So nothing picked up anything. There's no street cameras, no street signs. Nobody knows nothing. In the day and technology we live in, we're going to put out a damn Amber Alert when this car allegedly, he had her in the car, drove off. So as he's driving down the streets, you're going to tell me all the cameras throughout the entire community, nobody saw, no camera saw shit, right? Really? I don't want to hear that. You understand? I don't want to hear that. Parents are not guarding and guiding their kids. It's just that simple. And I'm not really calling this young lady a kid. She's not no kid. She knows exactly what she's doing. She got them hoop earrings in her ear, destroying her ears. Because any woman that wear them type of earrings, she got issues. You know, destroying your damn ears with this mess. Got them damn nails on, you know, a weave, because that's not her hair. I already done know. And yet, she's out in the street dealing with these type of men. When are we going to hold young ladies accountable? Why do young ladies always end up with these kind of men? Why a young lady could never get with a quality brother from the beginning? She always get with these kind of men and then get pregnant by these kind of men. And then after a while, when she's ran through, when she's been around the block, and now she's pushing 30, now all of a sudden now, she want that brother that goes to the library. Now she want that church-going brother. Now she want that brother who is into the Bible. Now she want that brother who's conscious. Now she want that brother who work at the supermarket, or that brother that has a job. She don't really care what job, as long as he's a decent brother. Now she wants him now. But by then, she got 3 kids by 3 different men. You understand? Why is it always like that? Why? What kind of world we live in where women will destroy their life while they're young, and then when they get older, now they want to do the right thing. Now they want to do the right thing that they're getting old. Now that their market value dropped, now they want to allow the good brother to come in. Why would he want to come in now? You're all used up. Your body been used up. You've been used up. Your mentality is crazy. Why would the good man come in to wife you up now, after you gave all of the better parts of your years to some dude that was no good? Makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. I don't feel one bit of bad about this situation. I really don't, because I'm not the type of guy who just be one-sided. I look at the situation from both angles, and I want to know, where were the parents? Where's her father? You know what I'm saying? Where's the father? Where's the mom? Why is a 16-year-old with boyfriends? And why does the news media put it out there, her ex-boyfriend? What ex? What ex-boyfriend? What exactly is the purpose of teenagers even dating? Could anybody answer that question? Because if everything is all about sex and abuse and pedophilia and rape and all of this nonsense, then why is it that the system have no issue with underage so-called children having boyfriends and girlfriends? You see, this stuff is set up by design. Because if we want to say that a young lady is underage, then she shouldn't have no boyfriend at all, of no age, until she is of legal age. And that is when she can have whatever she wants. Same thing goes with a young man. If a young man, nobody never talks about a young man being underage. Have you ever noticed that? Nobody never talks about a young man being underage. You never hear that. You never hear no one say, you know, this young man was underage and this woman was older than him, and, you know, it's just so wrong. You never hear that. Because they know that all of this age nonsense is foolishness. It's just a way to make money and put men in prison. Because it's normally a man that always go to prison. It's never a woman. Women, listen, do you know how many women out here deal with their students in school? Do you know how many grown women from 25 to about 45 who have relationships with their students in school? Who meet up with their student at a hotel, who meet up with their student at her house, and she buy this student's gifts and all sorts of stuff in exchange for sexual favors. And this stuff goes on all the time, but nobody never seems to talk about that because once again, the women are never held accountable. We only want to hold the man accountable. 16 years old, but she got a boyfriend. What is the purpose of her having a boyfriend? What is the purpose? He's not marrying her. He's not doing the right thing. He don't have a job. What is the purpose? I'll tell you the purpose. To have sex with her. So people have no problem with these alleged underage children having boyfriends. I hate that word, boyfriend, girlfriend. Just say sex partner, because that's exactly what it is. Your daughter's going to be in the back seat somewhere getting banged out by some dude, and you allowed it as the parent because you don't care about them. Most parents do not care about their daughters. They don't care about their daughters at all. Just look at this young lady. Does she look like she's in school? Does she look like she's educating herself? Does she look like she's thinking about anything positive? She look like she's just focused on boys. And that's it. I'm pretty sure her cell phone is filled with all sorts of stuff, but nobody will talk about that. Nobody will talk about what's on her cell phone. Who is she talking to? Where's her boyfriends at? How many boyfriends do your daughter have? Have any of you parents ever wondered how many boyfriends do your daughter have? How many men she talked to on her phone? Do any of you parents ever check your daughter's phone? Do any of you parents ever look at your daughter's social medias to find out, does she have an IG? Because normally these young ladies, they have everything set with their password where they can just log in automatically. Some of them have all their social medias linked together so that when they take one photo, it goes to their Facebook, it goes to their Snapchat, it goes to their IG, it goes every damn where. You see? How many parents are actually policing their children? You want to call the police when your daughter get her eye socket knocked out, but you're not doing the policing. What's going on with parents today? What's going on? And nobody's talking about this 19-year-old's parents or whatever the situation, or if he even lived with his parents. They're just saying that he was hiding in a cellar somewhere. But nobody's talking about that. Because again, they're looking at him as a grown man. They're not looking at him as a child. What is the difference between 16 and 19? Because if this is her ex-boyfriend, that means she was sexually active with him for a while. Because I don't want to hear that they was just girlfriend and boyfriend and nothing went down. Something is always going down. We don't have no problem with these young ladies having sex out here, but we don't want to deal with the responsibilities. We don't want to deal with the responsibilities. Why do a 16-year-old need to be with a 19-year-old, right? When this young man is not marrying her, he's not providing a future for her, he's not doing anything for her. We don't hear the parents talking about this man. We don't hear anything. All we have is a story of this young lady being abducted. Abducted. That's the word they want to use. She was just abducted. We don't want to hear that she willfully went with this man somewhere. We don't want to hear that. Nobody wants to say that because, again, it's her word against his. You understand? Let me see. Jay said they choose the wrong men because they are dysfunctional themselves. Water seeks its own level. That's true. You understand? Esther said, not enough. Unfortunately, my parents didn't play that mess at all. Yeah, back in the day, parents were parents. They were on your ass. When anything broke loose, they were right there to deal with you. They didn't play these games. Most of us knew, what to do, what not to do. Shout out to Tracy929, Riverdale Kings, what's going on? Nappy Assassin, thanks to everybody coming out. Makita, who else we got? Knowing if Negroes are going somewhere, man. Kings, what's going on? Let me see what everybody had to say in this chat. Let me see. Mark Foster, what's going on? Ringo the Rawest, thanks for the shout. Nappy said, porn star, what? Tenia Trump, when she was was in, I guess, in high school, slept with 86 guys, and the hoe had a book of all guys. Damn, that's crazy. That's interesting, but nobody talks about that. Remember, that's good. You know, in the eyes of the world, nobody don't want to judge women, because when you judge women, you're always bashing. You know, that's just the way it is. You know, and then they wonder why in the future nobody wants them. That's the reason why. Nobody's gonna deal with a woman on a serious level with a body count like that. It's just not gonna go down. Monica Lee said they be stuck on the sex. Yeah, of course. You know, most young ladies around the ages of 14 to 16 to 17, they could get with the type of man that is no good. But once again, the sex can trap them in, and even though the guy is no good, they'll remain with him because they like the feeling of what the guy provided for them sexually. But at the same time, even though she's doing that, where is the parents? You know, as a mother, you're supposed to know when your daughter's having sex. Don't tell me that you just don't know this. You know, if you're a mother and you know where you've been, you know the things you've done, you know, especially if you're a father, you could just tell when your daughter is out there doing something. I mean, if she's 16 years old, you know she got her period. You know she's doing things. You know, why are parents acting as if though they can't figure this stuff out? It's not hard to figure these youngins out. You were young too. You knew the age when you started. You knew the sneaky stuff. You knew when you were hiding things. You can't hide. You shouldn't be able to hide nothing from an adult because we're supposed to know better. But we acting like we don't know nothing. You know? Let me see what else we have here. The knowing if Negroes said, bro, I'm here. I'm honored to be in the boardroom. Well, thanks for showing up. There's a story I was getting ready to do as well. Okay. Nappy said they are 3 years apart. Right, they're 3 years apart, but the truth is the whole age thing is foolishness when you really think about it. Because if we want to say, and again, the age of consent in different states varies. You know, like in New York, in California, in different places, Texas, you know, the age of consent sometimes be ages 16, 17, and 18. But we, in America, we just kind of think that the age of consent is 18 all over the world. Not realizing that in other parts of the United States, the age of consent is 16 years old. So the whole age thing gets thrown into the picture because we like to call men pedophiles. But let's say the age of consent is 18, right? And this young lady is 17, but she turns 18 Monday. Her boyfriend is 22, right? So you're telling me that the boyfriend is a pedophile now because she's 17, right? But next week she turns 18. So once she turns 18, the boyfriend is no longer a pedophile, right? It makes no sense. It makes no logical sense. She's of age of accountability. She knows what she's doing. A child is one who don't have the necessary wisdom to make quality decisions. At 16 years old, you know exactly what you're doing. When I was 12 years old, I had a job working in a barbershop. When I was 13, I still had that job. When I was 17, I still had that job. And then as I grown, I got different jobs. I knew what I was doing. Every chick that I messed with, I knew what I was doing. I knew how to shop. I knew how to travel. I knew all of this. So there's no reason why someone would say, oh, you know, a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old, they don't know how to cope in a relationship, but they sure know how to have sex. I was talking about that. So you're telling me that a 16-year-old can go out there and have sex with a 16-year-old boy. It's okay, right? Nobody don't want to say nothing about that, right? Because you figure they're both the same age. No, we shouldn't allow them to have sex at all. If that's the case, if we want to focus on age, then anybody that's underage should not be having sex. And if they're having sex, we need to hold them accountable for even putting themselves in that situation. Not only that, we put the parents, we hold them accountable as well for not teaching the children. That way, if your child go out there and get pregnant while young, we put your mom in prison. We put the father in prison. Sounds crazy, right? I'm pretty sure it sounds crazy. You want to take no accountability for that because you're saying, well, I can't. Why would I go to jail if she want to make those decisions? Well, then we need to put her in jail. If children are underage, they shouldn't be out there having sex. It's just that simple. It'll avoid any of the confusion and hypocrisy, because I think it's hypocritical to say that a young lady who is 16 or 15 shouldn't be having sex with a guy who is 19, 22, 30, 40. She shouldn't be having sex with him because those guys are all pedophiles. Well, if that's the case, then any woman who is underage should not be having sex at all, and if she do, she should be held accountable for even putting herself in that predicament, and she should be placed in prison. That is how you deal with those issues. But again, we live in a society that let women do what they want. And that's why this young lady was out there with this monster and got her eye socket broke. Because she was outside looking for man, looking for some loving, and got with this brother. Because if he was abusive and that's supposed to be her ex, why is she with him? Why is she with him? Why did he feel necessary to keep coming around? Obviously, the sexual connection they have draws them together. Do you understand? That's the only reason why that brother's there. They've been having sex on the low key. Just because he's an ex doesn't mean that they're not having sex. Always remember that. Exes still have sex. Don't be confused to think that an ex don't do that no more. You know what I mean? Let me see what's going on in the chat again. Non-productive. Hello, I've just signed up. Makita said I've just signed up. Signed up to where? This site or Patreon? Jihad Powell said they don't give a blank. There are really no eligible wives left. Well, I agree. You know, there really aren't any eligible wives left in today's day. It's sad to say. I'm pretty sure there are women that may be in the chat saying, well, I'm eligible and I'm this. I don't think you're missing the point of what's going on. What the man's saying is that the women today, their minds are not focused on being wives. I've seen a comment somewhere. You know what? I think the comment was made by who it was. I seen a comment. I'm not sure who it was, man. I'm trying to remember who it was, but I think it was Sean, a brother named Sean. He made a comment saying that a lot of women want the wedding, right? They want the wedding, but they don't want to be wives. You can get that point. They want the wedding. They want the excitement of being married, the attention, the gifts, you know, the ring, all of this other stuff. And brothers, don't buy no woman no ring. Don't do it. You don't need no ring. That is a white man worldly concept. You don't need no ring and you don't need no marriage certificate. Don't ever marry a woman under the system based on a contract. Because when you do that, you place the system as the head of your household and marriage. If you want to make a woman your wife, you just make her your wife. Just like everybody make each other boyfriend and girlfriend, it's a simple commitment between you and that woman. Simple, it's verbal. And you just commit to it. You make her your wife and that's it. You don't need no paperwork. You don't need none of that mess. Because at the end of the day, most of them are going to leave anyway. That's just the truth. And what the brother is trying to say about there's no real wives out here is because they're not built to be wives. They don't have the training. You tell a woman the word training, she look at you like you're oppressing her. No, you need training in order to be a wife. Just like when you go to apply for a job, you need training. They're just not going to let you go in there handling machinery and you don't have the proper training, understanding standard procedures and safety, wearing proper PPE and so forth. You're liable to kill yourself or somebody else in here. So we got to train you on how to use the machinery, the tools, and so forth. Well, in a relationship, every woman needs training on how to be a wife. You need to know how to serve a man. That's another word that women don't like to hear. The word serve. So what the brother's saying is facts. There really are no eligible wives today because they've never been taught, groomed by their mother or father on how to serve or be a wife.
Also been manipulated by traditional elderly women
thoughts,
in
baby
competition
mothers,
with their
and
own family
girlfriends.
members.
That's pretty much it. Nobody understands what it means to be a wife in today's day. And that's just the facts. You understand? So I agree with that brother's comment. Let me see what else we have here. Okay, let me see. Where's his comment at? Trying to read everybody's comment, but the comments are moving. JL said they choose the wrong men because they are dysfunctional themselves. Yeah, I read that one. No one says parents these days are afraid the kids will do what they want anyway. Well, kids are going to do what they want to do anyway. But the problem is that as parents, we have to have enough confidence knowing that we've instilled in them the necessary values so that when they're faced with these situations in life, they're able to make the proper decisions. You see, even the Bible says, train up a child when they are young, and when they are old, they will not depart from it. You see, if you were taught from young that if you touch fire, you're going to get burned, then as you age, you're going to know not to touch no fire. It's just that simple. You understand? The problem is we don't have the proper training, and that's why the children are lost. Children are going to do what they want to do. I'm not saying to be so overprotective of children that you don't allow them to go out in the world and fly. They're going to go out there and make mistakes, but at the end of the day, they need to have the necessary tools, the information, the knowledge that comes from the parents. And if parents are not teaching them, they're going to end up with guys like this that are going to break their eye socket. It's just that simple. Let me see. No one says that girl in Paris lies on Chris Brown and the world started tearing him down until it came out. The police said her story didn't make any sense. Black America deemed Chris Brown guilty off the rip. Yeah, that's just how it is. You know, that's how it is for us brothers. You see, women out here, they can cry rape every day. And they can make up stories. You know, for all we know, the story with this young lady is not true. But we don't know that because we don't have the facts. So we got to go with whatever the news media is throwing out there, even though I don't just take whatever the news say as facts, just like that. I think logically. I look at the story, I analyze everything, and based on what I'm seeing, this young lady was willfully with a man that was no good. And she got exactly what she was looking for. I'm not saying she deserved to get her eye socket broke, but when you hang out with a man that's no good, what do you expect? You know, if you hang out with drug dealers and they shoot up the block and you there with them, then you got what you deserve. If you're in a car with a bunch of thugs and you know you're not a thug, you know you're not a gangbanger, then why are you in the car? You know what I mean? If you know you don't want no STDs, why are you out there sleeping around with thoughts? Like, we make these dumb decisions, and then when we get burned, now all of a sudden we want to cry victim. No, it's time for people to be accountable for their actions. And that young lady out in Paris lying on Chris Brown, that's typical of what's going on. It's just like the woman that was in a nightclub who claimed that she was raped by some guy. Remember that video? I don't know if any of you catch that live stream I had. It was flagged down because somebody didn't like the fact that I was cussing. You understand? They didn't like the fact that I was speaking the truth about that situation, so they flagged my live stream because of the fact that I was sharing the truth about a woman.
Don't tell me these niggas follow me to this full down shit.
No, nothing happened. These stories are designed to make men look like animals. And in the process, they make new laws and regulations that earn and oppress men. That is what this is about. You understand? So now Chris Brown is out there trying to defend himself. And anytime the news media put out any stories with Chris Brown, they always have to bring up his past with Rihanna. You ever notice that? They bring up everything from the man's past. They never just focus on the story. They have to sensationalize it with, well, you know, Chris Brown had a lot of run-ins with the law. He had something in a fight that resulted in such and that he allegedly raped a young woman in Paris, and she made a complaint, and now they put all that together, and what you don't hear the fact that this rape thing was alleged. You just remember all his history. And once you remember all his history, you combine that into one, and now you look at Chris Brown as a monster. That is how they do you. Just like when they do R. Kelly. They throw everything he ever did and they keep on bringing it up over and over. But if you notice, there are no facts. R. Kelly is holding women against their will in a house, a sex cult. Really? So you mean to tell me he have all these women held against their will, but there are no police reports, there are no arrests, there are no rape, there is no DNA, there is no women coming forth saying that, you know, we were in this house, we were struggling, we were suffering. It seems like every woman that is with R. Kelly wants to be with the man. But everybody's concerned with who this man having sex with. Oh, he married Aaliyah and she was 15. Really? Well, what about Hugh Hefner, who had a bunch of 15 and 16-year-olds in his mega mansion in the Playboy Mansion? Nobody talks about that. You understand? What about all the multimillionaires in Hollywood who are pedophiles? Nobody talks about that. What about all the politicians who have a lot of young underage young ladies who are giving them sexual favors? Nobody talks about that. What about Bill Clinton with the woman who was giving him oral? Nobody want to talk about that. Everything is brushed under the rug. Only if it's a black man. That is when we need to hold the black man accountable. You see, we need to demonize the black man because he's such a terrible person. You know? Real talk, man. No one says the Navy brother who shot the girl shouldn't have. Wait, where's the comment? The Navy comment just disappeared. What the hell going on? Oh, there it go. The Navy brother who shot the girl shouldn't have been stabbed in the first place, but they won't hold her accountable at all. Well, of course, they're not going to hold nobody accountable, man. If it's a woman, she's not being held accountable. It's just that simple. Nappy said, but it's crazy. Women late 20s would put on makeup to look like 18. I don't even know why women even wear makeup. I really don't understand why. It's like it's a waste of time. They look like clowns. I don't know why women just don't just wear their natural face. You don't see dudes coming outside with makeup on. You don't see that. You don't see men coming outside with makeup and just wearing makeup all day. It seems like women just love wearing makeup all day, and it's just not right. It makes no sense. You know, just be yourself. Wear your natural face. Wear your natural hair. You don't need all this fake stuff. Fake nails. I mean, everything is fake. You know? It's ridiculous now, man. It's getting out of hand. You know, just the other day, I mean, I read a story earlier today on the same BT site where a woman who, let me see if I can pull up this story. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let me open up the window capture. I'm going to see if I can open up this particular story. I'm doing it live so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. It was a story with a mother who, let me click the news section. Damn. I can't even find this thing. Let me see. News. It might come up. It's a story of a woman who, it might come up here. I'm not sure. There's a story of a mother who she's like 26 or something like that. I can't find it right now. I'll probably do a video on that another time. But it was a mother who is, I think she's around 26 or something like that. She basically took her children. She have a 5-year-old and a 1-year-old, and it said that she's bipolar or had issues in her relationship or whatever the case is, and she drove her car as an attempted suicide to kill her and the kids. And she's only like in her early 20s, brothers and sisters, early 20s, and it said that she's bipolar. You understand? That she suffers. That's what they threw out there, that she suffers from bipolar. But if the truth is, most women are bipolar. And that's just a fact. Most women suffer from this, and nobody wants to talk about that. But yet this woman drove her kids. The 5-year-old died, and it said that the police pretty much got into the water and they saved her and the 1-year-old, which is her son, and the baby father is pissed off about the whole thing. But the woman, she's going to get life in prison. Now they're going to put her in prison for life now because of the situation. And it's just sad that these women are out here doing all of this damage to their kids, man. How could you as a mom drive your children into the water so that they can drown? Like, who does that? Who does that? That makes no sense. Like, these are your kids. And yet you wonder why these young ladies are all messed up in the world. You wonder why. It's because they don't have the parenting that they need. They really don't. They don't have a mom who is there for them. They don't have anything. Let me see if I can find that particular story, because I really wanted to show you what it was, because it's crazy. I'm trying to find it as I look on this thing. Let me just look for news. It got to come up, because the story was just here. And let me see if I can pull it up, because I want to show you who this woman is, because it's just sad that this woman did this. And I don't hear nobody really talking about it. Because once again, these women, they commit these crimes and it goes under the rug. But when a guy, knock a woman's eye socket out, everybody makes a crazy, crazy deal about it. But most women are actually, let me type it in. I'm gonna look for it. I'm gonna do a search. Woman kills children. Let's see if that pulls it up. Let me see. Nothing came up for that. Where the hell is the story? The story was just there. Now I can't find the story. Why are they hiding the story with the women? But they got the brother story on Front Street. Come on, man. I click for all stories and it still don't want to come up. This is crazy, man. Anyway, they put all the guys that I see that committed crimes are all men. All the stories I see. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Now we got the story here. Let's see if we pull this up. Right? This is the woman here. Mother. Let me see. I'm going to see if you get that. The mother was sentenced to life in prison for deliberately driving car into river and killing her daughter. You see that? Dillingen attempted a double murder-suicide, but she and her 1-year-old son were pulled from the water. You understand? This is what's going on. Look at this. She's 26 years old. 26 years old, brothers and sisters. 26. She got 2 kids. 26. And she's already trying to kill her own kids. Now, if women are out here trying to kill their own kids, why would we be so surprised that this young lady here got her eye socket knocked out? Nobody cares. These women are having babies and don't even love them. They're having babies and don't even care, man. This is crazy. This is very, very crazy, man. Let me see. Esther said exactly, no need for a government to be included in marriage at all. Yeah, you don't need the government involved in your household. You don't need them involved. This is why households are destroyed, because a man is not able to lead his house because his woman always run to the police or she run to the government. This is why you don't need no marriage certificate. Once you have that marriage certificate, you give the government access to your house. They'll come in and just destroy your whole home. So let me see what else I got here. No one said weddings are just smoke and mirrors for attention and validation, so they can post it on social media and get likes, status symbols, bragging rights, clout, to tell other hoes I'm better than you. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You don't see men in baby showers. You don't see men online talking about, yo, man, I just got married, bro. Yo, man, yo. You don't see guys doing that. Guys just get married because they don't know what they're doing. And I'm going to make a video on that it's probably not even going to make women happy, but, I still got to tell you brothers the truth, about the whole marriage thing. Like, it's real talk, man. A lot of guys are getting caught up in that monogamy stuff, and once you get into that, you could just kiss your sex life goodbye. Like, I'm just telling you the truth. Like, if you're a brother right now, you're trying to get married to some young lady, I'm letting you know that if your marriage is based on monogamy, don't get married to her, because once you do, your sex life is over. I may talk on it a little bit here, but the truth is, once you get married to a woman, let me give you the breakdown. The first thing first is everything's going to be good in the beginning. First month or two, y'all going to be okay. Everything's going to be cool. You like her. You're going to be having a lot of sex. You don't have no children yet. Once you have your first child, things are going to change. The child's going to be in the way. Before you know it, she's not going to have enough time for you. You may have that. You may be understandable about that. That may be okay. You're going to be going to work. There are going to be some financial issues. You got to buy this, buy that. You got to pay your bills. Then you're going to have a child number 2. Then now it's going to be less time for you. You're not going to have time to have sex. She's going to be too occupied with the kids. And then what you're going to be is frustrated. You're going to be involved in watching porn. Then you're going to watch this. And you're going to watch that. You're going to get involved in masturbation. And before you know, you're going to be on the job, fooling around with other women. You're going to be talking to other women, but at the same time, you're trying to focus on your marriage. You're trying to do the right thing. You're trying to be committed just to your wife. You're feeling kind of weird. You're feeling bad, especially if you're a church-going person. You're feeling like you're committing a sin when really you're not. Your woman is going to always be there telling you that if you love her, you won't cheat, and you're going to be all confused, and then you're going to run across one of my videos. And then you're going to hear me talk about polygyny. And then you're going to hear me tell you that you need to have more than one wife. Because once you have a wife and she starts to have children and she have the responsibility of dealing with the home, she's not going to have enough time to deal with you. You have to understand that as a man. Because she cannot be everywhere at one time. This is why you need more than one wife. Do you understand me? So that when she's dealing with one thing, your other woman can deal with you. That's just the way things are supposed to be. But again, I'll save that for another video. But that little piece right there may stop one of you brothers from taking that trip down that aisle, because you're making a terrible mistake. So if you're a sister and you're trying to trap a brother like that, in the beginning you may say, I'm not going to be like that. We're going to be having sex all the time. No, you're not. No, you're not. Brothers, don't be deceived. I'm telling you the truth. Any lady you get with, doesn't know who she is. If you get married to her under monogamy, your sex life is over. So if you're the type of brother and you have a high sex drive, don't marry no woman under monogamy, or your life is over. I'm telling you right now. That's just facts. I'm telling you. Go out there and do it. You'll see. You're going to be on the job. You're going to be sneaking around with different women, and it's just going to mess up your whole life, because that's not the way it's supposed to be. You shouldn't be out there sneaking around with women. You should just have women as wives. Be respectful and everybody in agreement and understand what's going on. But see, women will tell you that they got everything under control, they can do everything, but truthfully, they're going to neglect you as the marriage go on. That's just the truth. Women will neglect you as the marriage go on. She's going to put the kids before you. This is why a lot of brothers have a hard time dealing with single mothers. They know not to deal with a single mother because they believe that if they get with her, the children are going to be in the way. And it's a fact. It's a fact. Now, of course, you have some single mothers that they won't allow their kids to get in the way because they really want to get with this man. But the truth is, children will get in the way of the relationship between that man and woman. This is why polygyny is very important, because one lady cannot do everything. I don't know who this was for or why I'm saying all of this, but somebody out there needed to hear this. Anyway, the point of this video is about this issue with women making bad decisions when it comes to the men they deal with, and they're never held accountable. The young lady who had her eye socket broke, we want to say the man is bad, and he is bad for doing that. But we need to look at the facts and wonder why the parents allowed their 16-year-old to even have boyfriends in the first place. Why no one is searching her cell phone? Why no one is trying to find the text messages? We need to investigate how this happened. What conversations led up to this incident? Nobody want to talk about that. You see, it seems like nobody's thinking logical in the world. They just go out there doing stuff and nobody cares. It doesn't make any sense, man. You know? Let me see what's going on in the chat. JL said it's to the point where you can't just look at the thugs and knuckleheads anymore. You have to see that these females are just as bad as the men they associate with, no matter how good she looks. Well, that's a fact. I'm glad you brought that up. What most of you don't know, and you know, he made it very, very clear that most of these females are the very same, just like the man they're dealing with. It's not that these women are decent women. It's not that these women are good girls. You know, these women are just as wicked as the men they have. You know, people say opposites attract. No. Like-minded people attract. You know, everybody that's in your circle is most likely the same mind. One of the reasons why a lot of you can't associate or be a part of certain groups is because they know you're different. You see, it's very difficult for anybody to want me to be a part of their group because I'm not going to join. Because I'm not stupid. I'm wise. I'm not going to be involved with people that are no good. I'm not going to hang around unholy alliances and negative people. I'm not going to get involved in that mess. So sometimes people get upset. It's just like in school. Young girls are being bullied in school every day because they don't want to hang around with a certain group of girls. And they'll try to make the girl who's being bullied, make her feel like she's ugly, make her feel like she's not popular, when the truth is, she's the prettiest of the bunch. You understand? She's the good girl. But they want her to be a part of their crew because they want to poison her. You understand? They know she don't want to be a part of it because she's smart. She don't want to be with them. You see? Let me see. Somebody said look at Bill Cosby, then Harvey Weinstein doesn't get charged. Yeah, you know, that's how it is, man. They always throwing a brother under the bus, man. They always throwing a brother under the bus. Chad said, but I thought Ringo pass is the pass, but they always bring up men pass. Yeah, well, that's how it is. See, in the world, even if you committed a crime and served your time in prison, they're going to still hold your pass, you know, they're going to hold you accountable to it anyway. So you're going to be punished no matter if you serve your time. It's just like, let's say a guy was arrested for pedophilia, right? What they say he have to do, he got to go register as a sex offender. Now notice that. If he was convicted of raping a young girl and he served 20 years, right? Once he get out, that should be it. Why do he need to go register as a sex offender? Why do we need to continue embarrassing him? Now, I'm sure most of you would feel good about that, but let's just keep it real. What they're basically saying is that he's going to do it again. So we need to make sure that the community know that he's a sex offender. Well, if that's the case, every crime any one of you do, you should be registered so that no company hire you. If you have felonies, you have this, you have that, no one should hire you at all. They shouldn't even give you a chance. Even the most low-quality job, they shouldn't give you a chance. If we're going to hold the pedophile of being registered as a sex offender, then everybody need to be registered at whatever crime they did and have a tag around their neck showing the world this is what you did in the past. We talk about forgive and forget, but truthfully, we don't forgive and forget nothing. People are constantly remembering your past. And if we're going to remember, then, I don't understand, man. It's just not going to make the world a better place. Let me see what else we got here. Nappy said, I should have told you this in the beginning. My mom was 16. She was seeking at adult parties. She met my dad. He was 28. She lied, told him she was 18, but young girls be lying age to get what they want. Well, see, brother, you're not the only one. There are countless females who are the parents or the mothers of us today who had children at the ages of 15, 16, 17, and all of them were always with older men. They always been dealing. Women, listen, women have always been dealing with older men. No woman want to deal with some little boy. She don't. Even the 15, 16-year-old, she don't want no boy her age. She look at him as a nobody. She want that dude over there. She want that 28-year-old. She want that 42-year-old. That's who she's looking at. When she walk into the corner store with her shorts on and her halter top, you think the corner store guy ain't checking her out? You don't think she's flirting around with him? You know how many corner store Arab dudes be messing around with sisters in the hood? Do you know what be going on? Listen, man, there's a lot of stuff going down. A lot of stuff. These youngins out here, they wildin'. They wildin', man. Knowing if Negroes said these mothers always doing the wicked blank, putting babies in microwaves. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes on, man. But nobody says anything, and they always want to play the, she's crazy. She got mental issues. Well, they all have mental issues at some point. Don't you know, ladies, that the more men you deal with sexually, the more mental issues you have? That's where we get the word bipolar from. The mother who jumped in her car and drove in the river, they claim that she's bipolar or suffer from that, right? You know where they come from? They come from dealing with multiple men. But they're not going to tell you that. They're never going to tell you this because it's the truth. If women knew that the mental conditions they have right now is a result of the amount of men they lay up with, they would stop. But as long as the system says ain't nothing wrong, a woman can express her sexuality and go out there and do whatever, it makes no sense, Let me see what else we got. What's going on, Sherelle? I see you in the chat. Well, we have 98%. Chad said, 98% of females in the westernized atmosphere are Jezebels. Facts. Well, that's true, too. You see, here's the thing. If women want to be healed, they have to take the criticism, the knowledge, and education that can come from righteous men that will set order. That's just the way it's supposed to be. But we live in a culture where our women don't want to be humble to listen to anything. You know how many women come to my channel and get mad as soon as they come watch my videos? And I'm saying to myself, like, why are you here? Why do you even take the time out of your day to come to my page to get upset because you don't like what I say? If you don't like what I say, how do you expect to ever have a man? Because if your idea is that a man is not supposed to tell you anything, he's not supposed to educate you, not supposed to give you any truth so that you can learn how to be a better woman to serve him, then how you expect to be pleased? How you expect your man to be pleased by you if you're not listening to nothing? Because it always dawned on me. Women will come to my page and they say, well, I got a man. I got a husband. And I'm like, well, I don't think you do if you're all in your feelings on my page. Because if you did have a husband, why would you even be here getting mad with me? He would have taught you manners. He would have taught you how to conduct yourself around men. If you're not showing me no respect, surely you don't show your man no respect. Those are facts. You know? These are facts that I'm speaking here. Women have to learn how to humble themselves in order to deal with the problems. There are a lot of problems with our women, and they don't want to humble themselves to learn how to overcome the issues. They're not going to go away. They're going to grow worse. And you're never going to have a man. Never. Like literally, most women that are listening to my video, you will never have a man. Do you understand what I'm saying? Until you learn to listen to wisdom, listen to instructions, and humble yourself, you're never going to have a man. You're not going to be in a sustainable relationship. It's never going to work because you're constantly trying to control a man's manhood, or you just don't want to listen. And I don't understand, just like the live stream I did the other day, where I talked about how most women, when they're on the job, they respect their boss, they respect their supervisor, they do what they're told, they follow instructions when they go to a courtroom, they listen to their attorney, they show these people all this respect, but when they go home, they don't respect their man. Something's wrong with that. Something's terribly wrong with that. Out of every man on earth, the man you should be respecting the most is the one you call your man. Your man, but you don't respect him? Come on, man. You're bugging out. Let me see. Knowing if Negroes said, soon as Chris Brown gets in some blank, they bring up the Rihanna situation. Well, they're going to always bring up the Rihanna situation, but they never bring up what Rihanna did. Rihanna has a hot mouth. You know that? Rihanna has a hot mouth, but no one never brings up any of the issues that she talk about. You see, it's kind of messed up that he even messed up with Rihanna. I think Rihanna's hot, but at the end of the day, I don't see how the hell that situation turned into him beating her up. You know, but I can pretty sure she had some words to say. Something happened. Somebody put hands on somebody, but nobody's going to talk about that. You understand? So they're going to always bring up that to destroy that man's name. Let me see. Make sure y'all join the Patreon site. If you're not a Patreon, become a member at www.patreon.com/blackmaleadvicetv so that you can have access to all my videos. I have a lot of content over there. Become a supporting member so that this work can continue, because without support, nothing can happen. People always asking, where can I see your videos? Hey, bro, what happened to all your videos on your channel, man? I don't see them no more. Well, you know, people keep flagging my videos, so it don't make no sense I be on YouTube with all my stuff, because every content creator on YouTube right now, black men, all of your days are numbered. You just don't get it yet. A lot of brothers haven't got the memo yet. A lot of you brothers that are, if you're viewing this chat, all of you brothers that are on YouTube right now speaking on different issues, please be mindful that sooner or later your channel is not going to be there no more. You should all be in preparation of moving and relocating, because a lot of you are not going to be here. It's not a place to really share truth, because people don't respect truth. You see, if I was up here and I was a pimp, and I had a bunch of hoes on my channel interviewing prostitutes and porn stars, my channel would be a mega channel. I'll have 1 billion hits. People will love me. Why? Because I'm not doing anything productive. I'm not doing anything that's helping the community. But once you begin to talk truth, once you begin to share the light and shine the light on the dysfunctions within the black community, that is when everybody's going to hold you as the enemy. Just like the Bible said, evil will be called good, and good will be called evil. That's the truth. You know what I mean? People don't want to hear that. You see? A rapper said, asking for advice, how did your wife qualify to be your wife instead of being dysfunctional? I would have to make an entire video on that. That's not a question you could just answer like 1, 2, 3. Because it goes back to everything that I've taught. You know, when you are dealing with women, you are the one who qualify the woman. You have to get to know the woman and the qualities she brings to the table. It's not a one-size-fit-all thing. Only you know what you expect. Just like when you're hiring someone to work for your company. You just don't hire anyone. You don't hire people that are late. You don't hire people that have poor TNA. You don't hire people that don't even have no work experience. Now that doesn't mean that a woman have to come to you with everything intact. There's things she has to learn. Most women have to learn how to cook. They have to learn how to do certain things. But for the most part, a woman should have the basics, like basic morals. All women will come with an attitude. So if you think that a woman's going to come to you with no attitude issues, think again. Our sisters are born with attitudes. You know what I mean? And it's up to you as a man to drive that away. And it's not going to go away overnight. In some instances, years. Because it's all about how well she will absorb your knowledge and information. So I'm going to make a video on that situation, because that's a video that you just can't answer that in 1 second or in a few words, because it's very vast. It's a situation that deals with a lot of time, a lot of communication, and a lot of trial and error, and a lot of mistakes and fallouts. Because in order to learn how to play basketball, you got to lose. Nobody just born winning. Every great mechanic made errors when fixing a car. Had a lot of bad clients and so forth. And over time, they learned how this thing works. And as men, as you go out there and as you deal with women, you tend to learn the ups and the downs, and you begin to look at what's right and wrong. And now you can literally look at women and say, you know what? I figured this whole thing out. I know exactly what's wrong. I know exactly how to make this thing work, because you understand that a relationship is a business. It's not about no love. Relationships is not about no love. It's about business. You doing your part, she doing her part, kids do their part, your wives do their part. That's what it's all about. If everybody's doing their part, everybody will be happy. You understand? All that sentimental stuff, that has its place, don't get me wrong. But if you go into a relationship expecting love, you're going to get hurt.
Respect first.
You're going to get hurt. If you go into a relationship with a woman, right, and your mind is stuck on, well, I really love her, and, I'm going to be with her forever. I don't need no other woman. But then you find out that your woman is messing around with a dude on the job. Now what? What are you going to do? Now your heart is broken. Because you were wearing your heart on your sleeve. You put trust in a woman that is destined to fail. You didn't know her enough to know if she is really loyal to you. See, a lot of women have wandering eyes. You're not going to get them to admit that. But a lot of women, believe it or not, will have a man. But still, they're looking at other men. I mean, they have eyes. They can still see. They can tell when another brother is handsome and so forth. But the truth is, some of them go beyond just looking, and they start to interact. And now, what happens is she's fooling around on the job with another man while with you. You see? And now your heart is broken because you put your trust in her. All of these things I've taught brothers over the years. Don't put no trust in women. You're not supposed to do that. Why would you put trust in a woman who is going to fail if she don't have the necessary tools and wisdom? If you haven't trained her on certain issues, then don't expect her to do the right thing. You're in no position to expect a woman to do the right thing if you have not yet discussed all these different things. You see? And I hate to say or compare this to a dog, but at the end of the day, if you don't train a dog, your dog is going to bite people. If you don't train your dog how to behave, and you walk into an elevator with your dog will bite people. And that's just a fact. So women need training. And if they don't have no training, they're going to be out of order, and they're going to do a bunch of stuff, and they're going to cause you a lot of problems. No matter how pretty she is, it doesn't matter. None of that stuff means nothing. You could be all pretty, you could be fine. Listen, the most pretty women be some of the most wicked women at the end of the day. So it's not about all of that. And you could be a brother who's doing everything right. You can have a job, this, that, all these different things, and get a woman that's very pretty, and she still don't know how to conduct herself as a wife. Like I said, many women want the wedding, but they don't want to be wives. You see? And what's sad about the story with this young lady getting her eye socket broken is her relationships to these men are just vain. What exactly is she doing? It makes no sense. AT3 said you have to train women like dogs. Well, you have to train men like dogs too. It goes both ways. See, that's why I didn't want it to be a one-sided thing. You see, I'm balanced. See, the same way you have to train a dog, if we're going to say you have to train a woman like a dog, then you have to train a man like a dog too. Because most men are out of control just like women. Do you understand? Men need to be trained like dogs. You see? When a dog get out of order, they need discipline. Well, when a man is out of order, he needs discipline, just like a woman. So both need to be trained like dogs. The issue is not the word dog. The issue is trained. Everybody needs training. If you want to be physically fit, you have to train. If you want a certain job, you have to train for the job. You know? Everything in life requires training and discipline. Without that, nobody can be successful. Those are just facts, man. So it's not about trying to insult women by saying, you know, women need to be trained like a dog. And I'm not saying that that's what you're saying. My point is, men need to be trained like dogs as well. Men too. We have to balance the playing field. If there's no balance, it's a false abomination. It has to be balanced. That's how relationships work. Remember, everything in a business has to conduct itself accordingly. Everybody has to do their part. You know, if I come into work and I'm not doing my part, then a lot of people are going to suffer because I'm not doing my part. If the supervisor is not supervising, the company is going to fall apart. Every company will sustain itself when everybody's doing their job. That's why I teach you, brothers, when you're on the job, stop talking to these women. Leave these women alone. Stop trying to get dates on the job. Leave these women alone. Go to your job and do your work and go home. You can talk to women after you get off work. Them women on the job, leave them alone. You'll get in trouble. You'll get brought up on charges. They'll take you to the damn HR department, and these women will cry sexual harassment, and you'll be done. I'm telling you, protect your livelihood. You making money, you making bread in today's dark times with government shutdowns and all this mess, brothers. Be thankful you got a job. Sisters, be thankful you have a job. Because there are people out there right now that are suffering. They're suffering. So protect your livelihood. You know? That's just real talk, man. I mean, I pretty much finished with the video. I'm just pretty much talking and just, talking about different issues because a lot of serious topics are at hand. Man, I have a lot of different streams that I want to do, but I decided to come on because when I saw this story, it just made me think about why are women not being held accountable for the men that they deal with, you know? Like, why? It just doesn't make sense. We have to begin to look at these situations and learn and come up with solutions on why young girls keep dealing with these kind of men, you know? And why do men deal with these kind of young women? Because it's a two-way street now, you know? This young girl is not decent. Let's just make that a fact. And, you know, it says that her father said the teen's ex-boyfriend punched her in the face. Well, where was this father during this entire ordeal? Why is it that this father can publicly say that this guy was her ex-boyfriend? So the father never went and had a talk with this man? Or is he scared of this young man? Because, you know, most of these fathers today are weak. They act like women. Because there's no way that my daughter would be outside with some dude and he punching her in the face and it stay like that. I wouldn't even be on the news talking about what he did. I'll be in prison. That's a fact. I would be in prison. You can record me saying that. Anybody mess with my daughter is finished. That's all I got to tell you. I will be in prison. Because it's not going to go down like that. You're not going to do something to my daughter. Especially if she ain't do nothing to you. Now, if she's out there trying to get in a man's face, wanting to fight, and get her tail whooped, then hey, I don't got nothing to do with that.
She asked you that.
And that's just real talk. Because no woman supposed to be in a man's face. But if somebody out there physically harm any of my daughters, be mindful. It's best you go end your life. Because it's not going to be, I'm not calling no cops. I'm not going to no news media. You better go find some sort of passport. You better leave the country. Because you're not going to last. I will look for you. It's just that simple. See, that's how a real man would be. You know? A real man would protect his daughter. But his daughter was out in the street rolling around with men having sex. Why is it that it's okay for teenage young women to be outside having sex with all these men? Why can't any woman come into the topic and say, look, I know it's wrong that she's out there having sex. You know why a lot of women won't? Because they did the same thing. They did the same thing. And they know it's a never-ending cycle. So if it's a never-ending cycle, we should think logically and say, we need to do something about this age of accountability and hold women accountable if they get into situations like this. Because if she didn't have a boyfriend, none of this would be happening. So there should be a law that says, and I don't want this to be a law, but if we're to deal with these issues, we need to set laws that way people don't break them and get in trouble. There should be a law that says if a woman is not 18, she shouldn't be having sex at all with no man of no ages. And if she is caught having sex, she will be held accountable as well as the man.
That would be nice.
Do you understand? There needs to be a two-way street. We cannot just have this thing of holding men accountable, but women, they're just innocent. She just didn't know no better. She was just so young. Listen, we need to stop that, man. Because you can go get your driver's permit at a certain age. You can start working at a certain age. So you mean to tell me you could do all of that at around 16 years old, but yet you telling me that she don't know what sex is about? Do you know how many young ladies out there have dildos and sex toys that they play with in their house and their mom don't even know? Do you know how many girls share vibrators, bringing vibrators to school, sharing with their friends? See, nobody want to talk about this because this is happening every day. But the minute you talk about it, you're the bad guy. And we wonder why these girls are over-sexualized. Why is she with that boy? Why is she with that young man? Why? Why is she with him? Is that her husband? Do he have his own place? Did he marry her? Do they have children together? We don't know this. For all I know, she got a child. Who is this young lady? Does she have children? She look like she have children. She looked like she have one child already. You know? Why did they bring up Kurt Angle's name? Okay, it's your niece. We don't even need your name in the story. We don't even need his name. Why do we have to promote the WWE? We don't need to know none of that. Just say the young lady, keep all these other people out and deal with the issue.
Get the ball!
They say that to make the story sensational so that it causes you to pretty much watch and view. You know? Yeah. A lot of young girls share sex toys. This is happening every day.
I wonder if my girls in stairwells,
it's sad because
I don't check their phones.
Virgins
I can only imagine the things that's going on their phones.
And then by the time they get with an actual man, they have already been ran through by toys. That's how crazy this world is. This is why, as parents, you got to know what your kids are doing. If you see your kid always in the damn bathroom, you need to take off that bathroom door. Real talk. You need to go to your daughter's room, your son's room, take off the bedroom door. No doors allowed. See, that's the era that I grew up in. They took doors off the room. You see, the only way you were able to do anything, you got to go find somewhere else to do. But a lot of stuff wasn't going down in the house. Because you have kids that they're home and they're masturbating in the bathroom. You see, you have your son in the room, he's masturbating. You have your daughter in the room, she's watching porn on her phone, and nobody's watching none of this stuff because parents don't monitor their kids' phones. They allow them to have all this social media. They allow them to do all these different things. You have to understand, these young teenagers know more about sex than grown adults. You don't think they have access to porn sites? You don't think they don't know about Pornhub and all these other places? They know about all this stuff, man. That's why young girls are out here looking for boyfriends. You think they're looking for boyfriends for? They want to have sex. They want to experience things. But their fathers is not there.
Talking about being
Where was the father of this young lady to tell her, why are you with this boy? Why are you with this man?
He ain't no good.
Obviously, her father must be terrible. Maybe, her father got to be terrible. For her to choose that dude clearly says what kind of father she have. Because when a man is quality and his daughters is around a quality man, she's going to get a brother who mimic her father. She's not going to get with a dude who ain't about nothing. You see? Jewel King said, Ringo, you are right. But in the hood, a.k.a. a project, you have 15, 16, 17-year-old girls blanking grown men and in their 30s and 35. Well, that's every day, bro. That's every single day. Listen, in the inner city black communities, Young girls are always having sex, man. That's all they do all day. They just meet up with a brother, go have sex, leave his apartment, go on the rooftop, whatever. That's why condoms is all over the projects. Condoms be all over the roof, all in the stairwell, all in the back windows, in the courtyards, all in the elevators. It be all over the place, man. All in the streets. That's all they do. They have so much free time, they only having sex. And this is why they popping babies out every minute and don't even know who the father is, because they having sex with so many different men. How does a woman not know who her baby father is? How could you as a woman get pregnant and you don't even know who the father is? If you were with one dude, you would know it's him. If you were with two, you would know based on the time you got pregnant. But see, obviously you were having sex with both. And that's the problem. This is why you brothers got to be careful, because you'll be out here having sex with these women and they just got nutted in by some other dude. And then you go behind that dude, right, after he had sex with her 2 hours ago, and now you having sex with her, now you nutting in the same woman, and now y'all mingling semen, and that's not cool, man. Semen. That's not cool, because some of these women, they just don't care. They're just loose. So when we look at that young lady who got her eye socket knocked out, trust and believe, she was out there wilding. She thought she was grown, and she got a prize for it. It's just that simple, you know? Dan said fathers in the home makes a difference. Well, of course, yeah, I agree, 100%. You see, when you have a father in the home, he set order, especially with daughters. Daughters will be afraid when the father speak. They may give the mom a hard time, but when they see that male authority of that man, they're gonna listen. But that brother would have to be on their tail all the time, you know? Let's see what we have here. These young blanks blanking every day. Yeah, that's every day. Generational cycles are very I was just about to type that. Generational traditions. Curses. That's what it is. Carried down to the family. The conditions in the black community are generational curses that have been passed down from generations. It's not new. Even going down to whooping your children. It's not new. Sharing vibrators. Hell no, that's nasty. Well, that's what they do. They'll go to school. See, here's the deal. This is why I teach on polygyny. None of you should have your children in any schools, right? That in a perfect world, none of us should have our children in any of these schools. These schools are nothing more than hellholes that teach our children how to be wicked. Because when they go to school, they're not learning nothing. Manipulative. I'm not saying that my own daughter started to manipulate me. Good teachers out there that are trying to teach students. But for the most part, you can have good teachers in a school, but because these students are coming in from homes where they have no discipline, right? Then what happens is these youngins go into these schools and they corrupt the minds of other students and teach them things that are not kosher. Like, you'll have a young girl, she'll come up to school with a vibrator, and she'll start showing some other girl, like, hey, you need to use this. And the girl is like, what's that? Oh, you place it here, you do this, you do that, and it'll make you feel good. And now that girl comes home with it, her mom don't even know, her dad don't even know, and then because they don't watch their daughter, the daughter's practicing all this junk. And now she's the hell like you go work to work out. Feeling. And now she's doing this mess. That's done together too. Now. And we wonder where it all starts. Being accountable. You have to be up under these kids to make sure you know what's going on, man. That's true, man. Dan says they get smartphones too early. Yeah, they get smartphones too early. And it's not even just having the smartphone. It's the fact that the smartphone have all of these apps that the parents don't monitor. Because you have to understand, we cannot keep technology away from children. Technology is here for a reason. Most of us, we weren't raised to have those things. So sometimes we'll say, well, they shouldn't have this, they shouldn't have that. It's not that they shouldn't. They should have all of this technology. The problem is parents are not governing what they can do with the technology. You see, children shouldn't have certain social medias, like IG. Your daughter should not have an IG page. She should not be on Facebook. You know what I mean? She should have no Facebook page. She should have no Instagram. She should have no Snapchat. There's no reason for none of these sites. I can understand if she want to watch some YouTube videos, some kid videos or something, some shows or whatever the case is. That's cool. But now, all other sites, you need to block all of that stuff out. And you also need to have access to her phone in a way where you can watch her history. These are things that parents just don't want to do because, again, it takes work to do that. And they don't want to do that. Because most parents are not parents anymore. They don't even want to have their kids at the end of the day. They really don't care. As long as their kids are quiet and they're able to have some peace and quiet, then they just leave the kids do whatever they want. It's a sad situation, man. And this is why most women have failed the children. Because women are supposed to be the nurturers of children. And most women are not mothers. Most women just gave birth. But they're not mothers. They really are not parenting their children at all.
Yeah.
They're really not. Their focus is just to make sure the kids are quiet, but they really don't deal with the kids in a way where they're kept away from all the dangers. For example, in these public schools, right, your daughters should not even be hanging around with other girls. I'm not saying that you keep them away from children, but at the end of the day, it depending on the environment you live in. Like if you live in the hood, like out here in New York, Brooklyn, you live out here, don't have your daughters hanging out with none of these hood rats, man. That's just facts, man. Keep your daughters away from all these hood rats. They don't need to be around none of these young girls, man. These girls are violent. These girls are wicked. These girls will bully your kids. Don't keep your kids around them. This is why I say schools are not the place for our children. This is why polygyny is important. Homeschooling is very important. Because when you put your kids in these environments, they get corrupted, they get introduced to violence, they get introduced to girls wanting to fight them because they're jealous and so forth, wanting to pull their hair, cut their hair, and so forth. Cut their face and all that. Keep your kids away from these other kids. Don't let your kids hang around a bunch of hood rat females. They're no good. If you want to take your kids out so they can have interaction with other children, take them to a decent park where they're around children that are decent. You understand? Don't keep your kids around kids that are no good. That's just simple common sense, man. Just like you wouldn't hang around somebody that's corrupted. Why would you let your children play around with kids that are crazy? And then when you see their parents, you're like, damn, even the parents are just as wicked as their children. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever, as a parent, dealt with a child that was messing with your daughter or your son, and you spoke to their parent, and their parent was just as ratchet? And you're like, damn, there's no way I'm going to get over this nonsense. I'm going to end up in prison. So it's best to just leave your children away from all these hood rat monsters, man. And I'm not saying that the black people are hood rats. I'm saying hood rats come in all shapes and sizes. It doesn't matter your race or your color. Keep your kids away from these negative people. Let your children grow up in an environment that's good. That's why as brothers and sisters, we need to be working hard so that we can move out of certain neighborhoods so that we don't have to be around certain environments. Not saying that you can't live in that environment, but the point is you should be working towards goals on how to remove your children from those environments. Why would Kurt Angle's niece be in an environment with such a man who's beating up the young girl, breaking her eye socket? Obviously, she's not in a good community. Obviously, there's not a good pool of men in her area, and obviously the parents don't give a damn. You see, it's just truth, man. You gotta do better, man. Let me see. Somebody said I used to take baths with the girl next door because her parents knew my parents. Well, that's what most people did back in the days. It is what it is.
I was
watching Booty Call at 9 years old. Yeah, I was exposed to relations with women very early. Well, we all did, bro. We used to bring Playboy magazines to school. Because the grown-ups, they had the Playboy magazine sitting right there. They had the porn VHS tapes sitting right there. We used to borrow each other tapes. We used to borrow each other damn Playboy books. I'd be like, yo, could I have page 37? All right, he cut out page 37. And the other brother would be like, yo, could I get page 42? Yeah, with that lady right there. And we would borrow each other paper. I'd be like, yo, bring back my paper tomorrow, man. And I'll tape it right back into the damn book. Real talk. So we were all exposed to this because that is how you explore and learn different things. The problem is, it's not that we were exposed to these things. We're men, so we're going to get introduced to the female nature because we're supposed to be attracted to women. The problem is, we ain't have no one to pretty much regulate the information we were getting so that we have a balanced mindset. See, in today's day, most men are over-sexualized. All they think about is women. All they think about is vagina. That's all they think about. They don't even think about getting a career. They don't ever read a book. They don't do nothing productive. All they do is worry about how to get a woman in bed. Why? Because they never had no one to regulate the information on what sex is about. And so forth. This is why all they think about is sex. The average man, his goal is just to get a woman in bed, and that's it. And that's sad. But again, that goes back to the lack of parenting.
I just dropped Lil off over there. She going out with them for his birthday.
Sherelle said I've been teaching 19 years, and it has gotten
when they gonna call me, you really ain't gonna come.
bleachers giving the boys head off. Yeah, that happens all the time.
Ladies like,
That's
don't
not new.
play with me.
That happens all the time in school. That's why
You know I'm ignorant too. Don't do that to
when
me.
you send your kids to these schools, you better know what your daughter is doing. Because your daughter may be in school giving young boys head. That's a very common sex act in these schools. Because a lot of virgin girls, they don't just give the guy the vag just like that. But they will give that boy head. They will. Practice this. When you see your daughter wanting to hang out with another girl, what do you think they talk about? Books in school and dogs? No, they talk about bananas.
It's on the 15th.
Use them for how you can practice, how you can do this. Have you ever did this before, Stacy? I never did that before. Let me show you. This is how you do it. And the friend will be laughing. Well, you so funny. Why you put that in your mouth like that? Oh, that's what you're supposed to do to the boy. That's what you're supposed to do? Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Where do you think your kids learn this from? You see? I apologize for being graphic, let you know like that, but at the end of the day, that's how it's done. You as an adult, as a parent, supposed to know that is what your children are exposed to daily. If you don't think that your daughter have been introduced to that from another girl, then you're just insane. If you think when your daughters go to school, they don't get no influence about sex, you're crazy. Because they do. They get that all the time. You see? Somebody said, what video... Oh, no one said, bro, what video editing app you use? If you're talking about, as of right now, doing a live stream, that's OBS. OBS is a free app that you can download for Windows or PC to do live streams. But my weapon of choice is ScreenFlow. I believe it's ScreenFlow 8. That's a screen recording software where I can pretty much do for music, Logic Pro. That's pretty much for the apps. Y'all sharing books. Yep, that's what we do. That paper probably had DNA on it when it was returned. Probably. But again, you know, none of us knew any better, but that was our Pornhub back then, was sharing those damn magazines. Let me see. Powell said, I remember people having sex in elementary school. I remember seeing 14-year-old girls pregnant. Yeah, all the time. Yep. All you saw was strollers. Key Prosper said, if the mother is wicked, then usually the daughter will be, even if she's ratchet. So that's why we have to know more about them before getting with them. Yep, got him. Tracy said, no, you're right. They practice with banana. Yep, bananas, anything that they can use to illustrate a penis, they use to practice on it. And this is what young girls are doing in school. This is what 8 and 10-year-olds are doing in school. These are facts. You know, they know about this stuff. No one says, thanks, bro. Jules said, now you can't watch porno for free on Google. Well, I don't know about all of that, but I think they're trying to do something. I heard some mess about they want to charge people. I read something somewhere about building some wall. They want to have people pay to watch porn online so that money can go towards building a wall or some nonsense. I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard something like that. But anybody can go online and search for porn. That's the easiest thing you can do. That's why we're over sexualized because people have access to this stuff every day. It's not like back in the day where you met a sister and it's like you really had to get to know who she is. She just didn't have sex with you overnight. But in today's day, you don't even have to go to a strip club. You don't have to do nothing. You just have to go click on your computer and type what you want, and you get exactly what you want to see. You understand? And it's crazy, but kids are involved in this stuff every day. And nobody fault the porn sites. They're able to stay in business all day. You know, where do you think the corruption comes from? It's crazy. Blacktail magazine had all the best looking women. No, you can't. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyway, pretty much wrapped up the video. We've been on now for about an hour and 40 minutes, 40 people watching. Yeah, so today was a decent stream. Talked about a lot of different issues. We just need to hold women more accountable when it comes to these issues of dealing with these kind of males, because, you know, females always choosing the wrong men and are never held accountable. Most of you women that are probably listening right now are with a man who is no good, and you know he's no good, and yet you're still there with him. You're listening to this video where I'm literally talking about these issues, and you're with a man right now that is no good, and you still remain with him. I tell you, it's crazy. It is crazy. You know, it's crazy. So thanks for everybody coming out to the show. We're going to have more live streams. There's just a lot of stuff I got to do. I'm very, very, very busy right now editing a video that I'm doing. A very, very special video, a very high quality production that I'm working on. It'll be released soon. It's relating to music, not, you know, commentary, but I got something cooking. Anyway, make sure that you become a patron on Patreon.
Have become the most lucrative and cutthroat businesses.
Black Male Advice TV, so that you can have access to all my content. We need your support to keep this going. A lot of times people always saying, bro, where are your videos? Where is your videos? I want to watch your videos. And you know what I say? Support the videos. Don't just watch the videos. Support the videos. Well, I did support. I thumbed it up. Really? You supported the videos by thumbing it up? How about dropping a donation? How about dropping a donation? An hour and 42 minutes. You got all this information, all of this knowledge. Drop a donation. www.paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. All donations and gifts of love are appreciated. You see, when you tell so-called black people that, I ain't donating nothing. Listen, if you don't want to donate, just become a patron. Just become a patron. That way, you are making a monthly pledge. And now you have access to all my content. Either way, support. Because we need your support. Just like everybody else needs your support. When you go to work, you buy lunch, that store needs your support. Everybody getting your support. But when it comes to truth, we don't want to support that. Oh, man, I tell you, man. Anyway, I'm going to sign out. I'm going to go get something to eat. I like how I have the chat now. I figured out how to make the chat transparent. Because I was always using the chat with like a box, and I was just searching around like, how the hell you do that mess, man? It's funny how everything you learn, you got to just go out there and search for. You got to go out there and do your research and search. But these live streams are going to get better and better and better. Definitely, especially when I get my new camera. It's going to be off the chain, the type of stuff that I got coming, man. Like, we're going to be doing live streams every damn minute. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to ever do a regular pre-recorded video. It's like I'm just hooked to live streams because the simplicity of it allows you to just get on
right in the flesh
and record, and it goes straight to the whatever media site you're on. And it's like I don't have to, you know, export it, encode it. You don't have to do none of that processing. It just goes straight and it do what it needs to do. And you can reach so many more people. Like, we only have about 35. That's because we're on this channel. When I was on my Black Male Advice TV channel, I was getting like around 300. 350 viewers, but they flagged me over there because of my video about the woman who alleged she was raped. They didn't like the fact that I was sharing so much truth. That video was so hot that people were getting offended. And see, that's another problem. If you females want to do better, you have to stop running to the white man to silence black men. If there's anything you get from this video today, it's what I just said. If you want to be a better woman, you need to have some respect for when that black man speak, and stop running to the white man to have him silenced. When you run to YouTube and make a false complaint to silence a brother from speaking truth, you are doing the black community an injustice. Because what you're basically saying is that dysfunction is more important, upholding a lie is more important, and gaining knowledge is not important. And if you have that mentality, there will be no quality men teaching or doing anything. Because all you're doing is driving men away. And when the problems really arise, you're going to want these men to stand up with their voices. How you expect me to have a voice if you keep trying to shut it down? You see, it's easy to do because all you got to do is just click a button. Ain't that something? People could just click a button and silence you just because they don't agree. We claim that we're adults, but we're not adult enough to move on. If you don't like what someone say, why are you there? That is mental illness in and of itself. Why would you even be listening to somebody you don't like or agree with? Why do people even be on channels they don't like? It makes no sense. I don't be on no channels doing this nonsense. And again, for all of those who want to see my video of me exposing an IG bot, be sure to go to Minds, www.minds.com/Ringo TV Raw. I have a video there, 2-part series, because they only allow you to upload 15 minutes. So I had to cut the video in half. But it's a video of me exposing an IG thought for who they really are. And there's going to be many more. But those particular videos will be for patrons only. That video is just to give the public an example of the work, so that they know exactly how severe my exposed videos are, that I'm not playing games. Stuff like that is what's going on in the black community. And we need to stop, because a lot of these young girls, 16 years old, are getting involved in the porn industry. They're getting involved in prostitutions, and we don't want to talk about that. You know, they're all on IG flashing their body, but nobody wants to talk about that. We want to talk about all these men that are raping and molesting, but, you know, these men wouldn't be out here doing none of this. These women weren't out here doing none of the things that they're doing. That's not to justify what the men do. That's to hold both people accountable. We need to hold women accountable for their actions, man. It's crazy. Nobody want to be held accountable. You know? Let me see what we got here. Yeah, and Dizzy said, it seems that black women don't want to be held accountable for anything. They want a pass for everything they do. That's facts. And we could never build in a situation like that where women are not held accountable. They act as if though they're innocent and never do anything wrong. And that's a problem. This is why I teach you, brothers, do not get married to none of these women based on the system. Your life will be over. Don't do it. You are going to, I'm telling you, man, if you don't get to know that woman and you get married to her, your life is over. Your life is over, brothers. Trust me, I got a lot of videos where I'm going to talk about that issue then. A lot of women ain't going to like that because they want to secure you under monogamy. And I'm going to teach you, brothers, don't do it. You don't need no marriage certificate. You don't need no courts. You don't need no wedding rings. Don't buy these women no rings. Nothing. Why you got to buy her a wedding ring? Who told you have to do that? Where's the scripture on that? See, you're following what the system is telling you. You don't need no ring for no woman. And then when you break up, then who get the ring? Makes no damn sense. Anyway, thanks for coming out to the show. Even though we only have a few people in the chat, it's still appreciated, because most people don't even have the attention span to even last for 5 minutes. People, they just look and leave. I'm like, yo, have anybody ever sat in school under a lecture? Like, them things be like 4 or 5 hours, man. Like, this is nothing. An hour and 15 minutes or 40 minutes, that's nothing. So, yeah, it's 150. An hour and 50 minutes so far. Let me see, is there anything else I need to say? Oh yeah, I'm going to be making a video exposing that Nature Boy dude. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with him, but that dude is off the chain, man. He's a sodomite. And I was actually not surprised because I already made a video exposing him. But this brother is out here impregnating women, claim he got like some cult thing or whatever, and he got these women brainwashed thinking that he's practicing polygyny. I want all of you to know that what Nature Boy is doing is he's not practicing polygyny or polygamy. He's not practicing none of that. He's practicing whoredom. You understand? These brothers are passing women around, getting women pregnant, and at the same time, this dude named Nature Boy, he actually liked men. You're going to learn about that. That video is going to be free on Minds.com. I'm going to expose him for who he really is. Because see, on Minds.com, you can't flag no videos. On Minds.com, I can post anything I want. And when I say anything, anything. You understand? You can't flag videos on Minds.com. It's beautiful. I love that site. It's beautiful. But I took all the videos down. All the videos that I had on Minds.com, I took all of them down. You understand? Because it don't make no sense. I keep stuff there if people are not supporting the page. The only reason why I put these videos up is because I can't put them
I don't know what he's doing for practicing whoredom, but he got his select team of people that he mess with,
don't forget,
or got a family with, and they building their way.
What else we have here? I don't know why you brought up young Pharaoh. What is it about young Pharaoh? Somebody who did a gay porn? Are you talking about Nature Boy? If it's Nature Boy, then that's a fact. I got the actual receipts with that. With some white guy. So I know that's a fact. But anyway, I'm not really here to talk about young Pharaoh and all of that stuff, man. I don't got time for that. I'm here to deal with the business that I'm focused on right now, which is this particular live, and the fact that I'm going to deal with this Nature Boy issue. Those are just some updates. Thanks again for everybody coming out to the show. I appreciate that. If you just now walked into the chat, you missed everything, but the video, once it load up on YouTube, you'll be able to have access to it, and it is what it is. Tracy said young Pharaoh got receipts on Nature Boy 2. Oh, okay. I heard young Pharaoh is an agent. I don't listen to stuff like that. You know, you heard, that doesn't make anybody an agent. You know, if that's the case, everybody's an agent. We can't talk about what we heard. We have to talk about what we know. Because if we talk about what we heard, that's just speculation. I recall making a video about young Pharaoh one time. And it was about some other issue. But I really don't have no time for all of that other stuff. I deal with stuff that deals with the issues of someone destroying the community. And that's Nature Boy. Nature Boy is destroying women. He already got one of them women pregnant. He get other women pregnant. And these women are living in a damn jungle somewhere with no damn shoes, shelter, and so forth. And he claimed that he's taking care of them. And he's causing a lot of problems. And at the same time, this brother like men, and he has dealings with men at the same time. And that's not good. So I'm going to deal with that. And then once I put that video out there, I hope that people take that video and share it with everybody so that everybody can see what the real is. Because any man that is involved in the stuff that Nature Boy do as a man, no woman should be sexually active with that brother. None. That's a filthy brother right there. So with that said, I'm going to sign out right now. Again, thanks to everybody coming out to the show. The video will load back up. It'll be on YouTube. I'm not taking these videos down. These videos are all for Black Female Advice channel. That's why I'm keeping them clean. If you don't notice, I'm trying to be as clean as possible because YouTube is all messed up. These sites, man, I tell you, man, free speech is It's just it's just sad, man. We live in a world where you can't even speak your mind. If you go to minds.com right now, minds.com/Ringo TV Raw, look at that exposed video and see how I talk in that video. See how I conduct myself in that video. That is Ringo TV Raw in its fullest. That's without limitation. But on YouTube, I got to keep everything clean because the hierarchy is always watching you. They watch my live streams while I do them too. Trust me. They just sitting around waiting. Carl said Nature Boy do have adult entertainment back and he is DL. Yeah, I know that. Thanks for Sherelle for posting the link. Just follow the link that Sherelle posted in the chat and it'll take you so that you can watch the exposed video that I did on the IG thought. It was some IG model. I think the reason why I exposed her is that I recall going into her comments and I asked the question of why is it that most IG models, they never respond to men when men post a comment, right? A man will post a comment, they'll say, hey, you're pretty, how you doing, sister? And they try to be all respectful and all this other stuff, right? Being a nice guy. You know nice guys finish last. But I asked that question and somebody came in and was like, she don't have to respond to you. And I'm saying to myself, people here might be her fans. They like her. They like how she looked. And then it kind of went into this argument of, you know, I'm just a nobody. And I'm like, nobody? I'm like, you know who the hell you talking to? So the person kept going on about how she's a college-educated woman. She's in college getting her degree. She's a this. She got a job. All this other, you know, all this stuff. It's not impressive to me because guys, when they come to IG, they don't care about no woman's education. They just want to see her tail. That's all they want to see. That's just keeping it a buck. So they kept going into all this other stuff. So I just did some research to find out who this woman is. So I typed in her name. I'm searching around. I'm like, who is this model? And then next minute, it led me to something else that led me to something else. And it showed me who she really is. And I decided to make a video on that. You can find that on minds.com. Anyway, thanks for coming out. I'm going to sign out right now. So
yeah, I gotta charge up just for me to stop by the house, grab an L.
Next time.
I kind of just came into the house.
And we are...
Peace, God.